A significant rainstorm looks more and more likely for early next week, Monday, May the 5th through Wednesday, May the 7th. So let's break this down for you and why we're kind of honing in more and more on this. First of all, the basic setup is there. What we've got is a slow moving, what we call a cut-off low. You've heard me talk about this before, probably. It's a little geeky, but basically it's an area of low pressure that is not attached to the jet stream. So think of a train off its tracks. There's nothing steering this low along, so it's going to kind of sit and churn, and eventually it's going to just slowly nudge east, and as it does so, it's going to tap into moisture out of the Gulf, and that means deep tropical moisture for us across eastern Colorado. Starting Monday, but especially for Tuesday, that looks like the peak of that rainforest. And you know what here, folks? I'm going to be honest. This looks like a lot of really good news, a lot of beneficial free water for us here across eastern Colorado. This could be a drought-busting kind of rain for us with a long-lived, heavy, deep tropical kind of moisture event for us here across southern eastern Colorado. Really, most of the state gets in on this. That's the way it looks right now. Still some questions around this. How far south will it track? Does this kind of weaken a bit too much as it gets closer and closer to Colorado? Still some questions around that. But overall, this looks to be a high rain event for us here across eastern Colorado, including Denver, early next week. Now, a couple things to watch for. On the front end of this, there's going to be the potential for severe weather, especially on Monday across the eastern plains. That could include the Denver area. It just depends on a few things, but we're going to have to watch for that closely for us. That would be the main impact at this point. The other big thing to watch for is if we're starting to talk about 3-4 inches of rain, as some computer models are showing, we're talking 3-4 inches of rain early to mid next week. That's where we start getting into, could be talking about some flood issues. It looks like it's going to end up shy of that. Most areas, 1 to 3 inches of rain. That should be enough to really give us a good dousing, but not enough to really lead to a lot of flood issues. Final thing to watch for is we could get some pretty decent mountain snow, especially in southern Colorado. That is great news for the snowpack. Help things on out there, but that could lead to some travel disruptions if you're heading to or from the mountains early to mid next week. So again, the peak of this will be on Tuesday, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a lot of rain and mountain snow on the way for us early next week. More details as we get closer.